Welcome to part 2. Now, the other ball floating in the air is one that many Kenyans have missed, and it's a very big story. Yes, it's revelations over what may have happened in 2007. Yes, that's a long time ago. However, they have a huge impact on what is happening in Kenya at the moment and what may happen shortly. Not only that, it explains very neatly why 2017, the elections of that year, happened and why they happened the way they did. Have you heard of a man called Julian Assange? Yep, that's the guy linked to WikiLeaks. Now, let me jog your memory a little. For those who are around at that time, during the Kibaki administration, diplomatic cables were leaked by WikiLeaks. And those leaked cables caused a lot of embarrassment to very many people, both in Washington and in Nairobi, Kenya. Let me confess, one of the main reasons why I remember that drama so well, as if it happened just yesterday, was because it revealed to shocked Kenyans that the person in charge of the country's intelligence service, the National Intelligence Security Services at the time, a gentleman called Michael Gishangi, had a nickname in the diplomatic circles in Nairobi, and he was nicknamed PNU Activist. This was during the Grand Coalition government, when Raila Odinga was Prime Minister and President was Mwai Kibaki, and the two dominant political forces at the time were Mwai Kibaki's PNU, Party of National Unity, and Raila Odinga's ODM. And the reason why Bwana Gishangi got that nickname, PNU Activist, was because whenever he struck a conversation with any diplomat, the topic would be ODM, the Orange Democratic Movement. And it became very clear to the diplomats in Nairobi at the time, from all over, but especially the United States, that Bwana Gishangi was focused, very focused, on only one mission: to destroy the Orange Democratic Movement. This, to them, was extremely bizarre, because when you head a country's national intelligence service, you're supposed to be above partisan politics. And the focus is supposed to be national interests, national threats. This confirmed information that I'd carried in the Kumekucha blog at the time, that many had rubbished, that had caused me to lose many subscribers, when I revealed that the state, the government of Kenya at the time, classified ODM as a threat to national security. And very many of the actions taken at the time, and many things they did, confirmed this. And the leaked diplomatic cables confirmed for the first time this information that many had rubbished. Back to the present. The latest from Bwana Julian Assange's website are some very explosive pieces of information on the country called Kenya. But for our show today, let me focus on the 2007 general elections. It is claimed that the ODM party used extremely dirty tactics that were nowhere near above board for Raila Odinga to try and win those elections against Mwai Kibaki. And the focus is on the use of the mainstream media to mudsling and completely destroy the presidential candidature of one Mwai Kibaki. Money was used to ensure that the media would always be skewed in favor of Raila Odinga. And the strategy designed to do this was one of highlighting the weaknesses and failures of the Mwai Kibaki presidency. Now, to somebody who understands politics, this may appear to be normal politics, the propaganda that is usually part of any fierce election contest anywhere in the world. However, the problem were the extreme measures taken in mudslinging Mwai Kibaki and in using money, a huge budget, double-digit millions, which was a lot of money at the time, which was used to completely drown Mwai Kibaki as a political possibility in that election. Now, I covered those elections, and I can tell you that this move by ODM was very effective. It was so effective, and I've said this many times before, that what happened in those particular elections is that people did not vote for Raila Odinga. They cast a very angry vote against Mwai Kibaki. And therefore, with the benefit of hindsight, it is not surprising that those particular fateful presidential elections ended up in the tribal clashes. A very dark chapter of Kenyan history. And there's something else even more fascinating that we can now see clearly. The emergence of something called the 36 bloggers, we can now understand was really a response to the terrible ODM media machine. And of course, the tactics used by the 36 bloggers in 2013 and much more visibly in 2017 were nowhere near above board. But considering what ODM did in 2007, it is clear that what happened is that a very dirty game just got dirtier and dirtier and more vicious and brutal. And I'm not making any excuses for anybody, because I want us to avoid the emotions, and the partisan politics, and focus on the huge national problem that we now face. A problem that we must face and defeat in the 2022 elections. And this is simply the blatant misuse and criminal manipulation of the media during elections in Kenya, which of course makes it impossible for voters to be able to make anything close to an informed decision when voting, because it obviously becomes impossible to sift out the truth and the facts from all the filth of mudslinging happening courtesy of a paid and bought and purchased media in Kenya. Assuming that nothing changes going forward, it is crystal clear that in Kenya, the last place to get any political information that would help you make a decision as a voter is the media. The so-called trusted mainstream media. Now, this is even sadder because with the benefit of hindsight, and without any tribal feelings or inclinations, it is clear that Mwai Kibaki was one of the best presidents Kenya's ever had, if not the best. Even in the midst of all the political problems and all the crises he faced of a political nature, Mwai Kibaki still changed Kenya. And let me not mention his many achievements, which can be argued against, but instead focus on just one of his achievements, which is impossible to argue against. President Kibaki moved the country called Kenya away from heavy reliance on foreign aid, and is the president who brought us closest to self-reliance as a country. Sadly, his biggest weakness was that He didn't know how to play politics. He was not a politician. And of course, one can argue, a president is supposed to be a politician. Oh boy, I can already see I've run out of time. Anyway, no worries. We're going to complete this in part 3. Until then, this is Chris Kumekucha.